Period. The way of doing this stuff has failed. It's not working. And they're perpetuating the system. How do we keep the system alive? Right?
How do you prop up a broken system?
What?
How do you prop up a broken system? How does the government go about propping up a broken system? They keep throwing money at it like they're doing with the car companies and everything else, propping up a broken system, continued allowance of failure. They're not proving themselves at all to be a viable company. They've got to have complete restructuring, like you were saying, new tooling, the auto manufacturers. Like, rather than just sitting there and being like, all right, we're going to throw you all this money and we're going to fire your CEO, we're going to bring in somebody else, and now you're pretty much in our pocket. But if they just, like, I understand the whole idea of the government had to step in, I realize that, but they don't need to keep them in a position where the government has stepped in. They need to get back to the capitalist market as soon as possible. Back to being competitive in business. Because if you're not...
They're going to be competitive in business. I mean, that sounds ridiculous.
I know, but they haven't been this entire time.
I understand. It's a conduit. It's not micromanaged by government. It's not the point. It's not what anyone with half a fucking brain would advocate. It's you just take it and you put it in a direction and you fund it. And you fund it with this mandate. You know, you have your Fannie Mae's and Freddie Mac's. These are quasi-governmental business. You know, it's corporate and it's government. These are quasi-governmental agencies. Okay, they have a specific mandate, and they go out there and they're a for-profit branch. They make money. You know, get all these technologies up, retool, re-educate the people. What are the numbers on it? You know, what's the cost? What's the argument against that? I heard an economist or two put it forward. It makes sense to me. So what's you know, why not?
Well, that's what I'm saying. They need to have intelligent. If the government's
That's
gonna.
Not even the point, dude. It's well.
I mean, if the government's gonna step in and we're gonna be spending all this ridiculous money, we need to be aware of what. Like, there's so many people that all right. Like, Congress is now playing like board of directors.
With who?
With the companies that they've funneled all this money to, the banks, car companies, everybody. They're now board of directors, pretty much. Huh? I'd say that they are. They're the ones sitting there passing this legislation. They're the ones sitting there having now to decide what's in best interest for that business. They don't know what the fuck to do in business. They barely know what to do in politics.
These guys, okay, I mean, yeah, some of them are out here, but, you know, well, you know, I guess, they're in business. No, they are in business. And just because you're in business doesn't mean you're a fucking sane individual or you have the right morals or ethics or things of that nature.
I'd say being in business might cripple your ethics, if anything.
Well, I mean, you know, we all are to an extent. You know, how do you market yourself as an individual and things of that nature. But, you know, these guys are all fucking businesses. They're connected. The way elections are nowadays, it takes a lot of money. That means a lot of money has to get behind you, which means you're pushing an agenda that's pretty damn fucking big or specific or well-funded, to say the least. You know?
Yeah.
So you're well-connected. You have the ability to raise a substantial amount of money to win public office, you know? So think about what type of position you have to be in to gain that influence. Unless you're, you know, in a situation, I don't know how rare it is, that, you know, you're in on some noble cause and you won or something like that. It's garbage, dude. The backstory on the Somali pirates, I don't remember that.
No, that shit's crazy as hell, dude. The nuclear waste?
Toxic waste, yeah, of all sorts. I don't know if it's
oh, it wasn't nuclear?
No, there's nuclear, but I think it's also like biohazard. That would be considered toxic waste. It's like all the
medical waste and shit dumped off their shores.
It's jive. It's fucked up. You know. Think about the policy, dude, and that was propagated by the West. Look at the size of that coastline, dude, right there. Think about how many people live there and depend on that coastline and the production of fishing.
Yeah. That's a big fucking coastline, dude.
It's huge, dude. So, I mean, you know.
Mogadishu. Look at this. See, have you noticed now that it's Fox Nation? It's not Fox News. Megyn Kelly? Megyn Kelly is super hot. See, Fox News has got the hottest anchor chicks of any news station.
However,
Any news
you
station.
don't have Pascalinda.
Oh, from Bloomberg?
And I missed her tonight.
She'll be back on. She has my heart. She has my soul.
I don't know about the soul. My infatuation. Bloomberg.
Bloomberg's good shit, dude. Bloomberg and Fox News are the only news sources that I watch.
No,
Fascist. You are so Fox News, dude. I love that. I love that. You gotta hear that Nas song talking about Fox News. Talk about all like the shiny colors and all the crazy shit going on. It's like, don't you realize that they're feeding you bullshit and nonsense? Which a lot of the stories are, but they've got adequate coverage of news. They play their cards well. They've got their vested interests at heart. Look at that, dude. Fucking Dow. All the way up there. Wells Fargo, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
wow.
I give it 6 months before Wells Fargo's back around $40 fucking a share. What the fuck is this?
Wow. Interesting. Some Mississippi guy said there's 17 members in Congress who are socialists, but he's not going to name names.
You damn well better name names if they're fucking socialists. That's the way this fucking country's going with all this crazy shit we're doing. I don't fucking hear any more about...
Work for peanuts.
Work for peanuts.
Back to feudalism. Get on
Back to feudalism. Get back out there. Work my land. Plow my fields. Live in that little shack back there I'm providing you. This is a lordship.
Exactly. Go to church on Sundays and
yes, go to church on Sundays
and say that you're a good Christian and you live the way that the Lord would have you, and then fucking come one day, rape and pillage for another 5 days.
Oh yes, dude. Oh yes. Well, it's a cut and dry most point of it.
It is the great hypocrisy, dude, that this country has, dude, being a Christian nation.
Yeah.
They give them a fucking blank check to do rape and pillage. And doing, I mean, it is. It's the truth. It's not propaganda. It's the fucking truth. Read Christ's message and apply it to the fucking United States as it exists today. It's a good country, but come on now.
Yeah, once you take it in that
It's a
aspect.
good country for us who live in the United States at the expense of everyone else. So, in the grand scheme of things, yada, 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 is that really Christ's message?
Not even a little.
You have to say
not even a little bit.
it's not even, so that's the kicker. That's the hypocrisy. That's to go to church on Sundays, dude, and get up and read and pray, dude. I didn't even go to fucking church on Sundays.
Yeah.